Hello everybody and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Today we're going to be doing the next in the line of Johnnie Walker. So we've moved past the Johnnie Walker Double Black, now we're heading into the Johnnie Walker Green. So let's get into it. If you're interested in learning about the Johnnie Walker brand, go check out my video on Johnnie Walker Red. However, do not buy Johnnie Walker Red. All right, so for those of you who are not currently writing me an angry comment, let's talk about a much better whiskey, the Johnnie Walker Green. So Johnnie Walker Green is comprised of Speyside, Highland, Lowland, and Island whiskeys that are all at least 15 years aged. And for a little while, this actually disappeared from shelves for a few years back. And the reason for which is Johnnie Walker didn't think that it fit their theme of grain whiskeys, which makes some sense, but I'm personally happy that they brought it back. I had this as one of the first whiskeys that I kind of treated myself to when I was first getting into whiskey. This is one of the nicer ones. I think I paid like $70 for this bottle. So I personally was very happy to see it come back. But I might have a little bit of nostalgia going on there, so let's give it an unbiased review in the nosing and the tasting. All right, so let's pour this guy out. Just leave the cork off. So let's go ahead and give this a nose. All right, so despite it taking some whiskey from the islands, there's very limited smoke on this one. But one thing I am smelling is kind of like a vanilla cookie, almost like one of those Nilla wafers, if you know what I'm talking about. I'll put a picture up or something. But outside of that, I get a little bit of banana as well. And despite the odd noses, I can't really say that I like this combination of nose. It's not bad, it's just kind of boring, right? All right, so let's go ahead and give this a taste. Cheers. So the biggest things that you're gonna get immediately is honey. Kind of for me at the forefront, it's a very dry honey, almost like you don't taste the honey until after you've swallowed it and the air hits your tongue. So then you've got vanilla, kind of obvious, but then you get kind of a very full mouthfeel. It's not thin at all. And a slight oily smoke kind of follows it up towards the end, but all of these flavors kind of meld really well, despite the fact that it's kind of all over the place. So what do I suggest for this whiskey? I'm kind of going at this with an unbiased review. So a couple of weeks ago when I first bought this, again, I shouldn't say first bought this, when I rebought this, my dad and I both had some and neither one of us liked it. And I was pretty shocked because for years I had been telling people that this was my favorite Johnnie Walker. And whenever they'd ask what I thought, this was the one I told them they should start with. Or that or Johnnie Walker Black. But I was like really worried because I was starting to think maybe I had led them all wrong. But after letting this sit open for a couple of weeks, I actually didn't even have any up until today, once again. I like this a lot more after breathing just for a few weeks. And that little bit of change made a difference. And that was what I remembered tasting back, all those years ago. So what I would say is at $65, I would say if you typically agree with my recommendations on here, I think this is a buy it. I think this is one of the better Johnnie Walkers that they give you. But you gotta let it sit for a couple of weeks. If you don't know me very well, or if you don't typically agree, then try it. Find a bar that has it somewhere and just give it a shot. See what you think. If you like it, buy it. It's only 65 bucks. So, all right, that does it for this episode of the Whiskey Dictionary. Thank you very much for joining me and have a great rest of your night. I said my name is Wonder Mike and I'd like to say hello. Boogie to the boogie, so don't jump the boogie to the bang. All right. However, for the love of all that... All right. 3, 2, 1, go.